Hi, I'm Kathy.
And I'm Maddie.
And we are Wheelchair Adventures. So this is the big one. This is where we tell you our thoughts on the Oceania Marina. We were on it for a 24-night cruise, 2 12 nights back to back.
Without knowing.
Without knowing what?
Without knowing that it was back. I mean, without knowing it was...
Well, we knew it was continuous. Yeah, we just didn't know it was 2 different ones. But that worked out well.
Yeah.
Fine. So we had never been on Oceania. We had always heard that it was a luxury and...
Yeah,
you know,
luxury.
Well, it was nice.
Yes, it was.
Not be too critical. But...
True.
We hadn't heard too much about it. I chose it because of the itinerary. It brought us from London to Trieste, which is right outside of Venice. And it had all the stops that I wanted to show Maddie Europe. So we chose it.
Had a good time.
We had a great time.
Yeah, we did.
But we wanted to let you know what we liked about it, what we disliked about it, and really some areas of improvement. Before anybody goes on it who's in a wheelchair. Permanent wheelchair users. You know, people that can get out of their wheelchair, it's different. But
people who are permanent wheelchair users like myself.
Yeah. So here we go. Likes. Okay? Food.
Yes, the food is fantastic.
The food was amazing. I'm not a big seafood person. Maddie's not, but my husband is, and he was in heaven. Let me preface by saying it's a 1,200 person passenger cruise ship, so it's smaller.
Yeah.
So they have the main dining room, of course, which we only ate in twice for 24 nighs.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute, why we didn't. They also have 4 specialty restaurants. And
Toscana, Red Ginger,
Polo Grill, and Jacques. For Jacques, Jacques, the chef. Because we were on 2 separate cruises, we could reserve, 45 days before, 2 nights in each of the restaurants. So we ate in Jacques twice, Red Ginger twice, Polo Grill twice, in Toscana. So that's 8 nights. Plus the 2 nights we were in the main dining room. And then where we really loved to eat was the cafe. It was called the Terrace Cafe. It was kind of, if anyone goes...
The buffet.
It's a buffet, yeah. But if anyone on Celebrity, it's akin to the Ocean View Cafe. So it's called the Terrace Cafe. It's much smaller because of the amount of people on the ship. There's just one big section and then kind of a middle section and then one other, like a grill section. So we just really loved it. I could get, every night when we went there, I would get a chef's Caesar salad, which you actually like the Caesar salads. They make it right in front of you. You can have anchovies or not, croutons and real Parmesan cheese. So I always got that. And then I usually ended up getting, because there was so much seafood, and I'm just not a seafood person, I would get maybe some starters or something. And I was just happy. I mean, the bread was amazing.
You like to not have a whole meal sometimes.
No, right. Because when I went to the restaurants, I always, you go away because you want, it's also good. You're so full. Yeah, and then you're just uncomfortable. So I just prefer to eat at the Terrace Cafe. They had sushi there every night. They had all kinds of
pasta every night.
They had a pasta station every night. They had a grill every night where you could get steak and lobster every night. You could eat all the lobster tails you wanted. They had chicken that they would cook on the grill for you. just desserts were really, really good, were they not?
Yes, they were. They
Yes.
were
Mm-hmm.
like apple tarts and et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, and then at lunchtime when we went, they made a little cone of the day, which were these little tiny waffle cones with something inside of them, filled with jelly
or whipped cream.
Yeah, it was just. I
So
mean,
good.
there was something for everybody. And the thing about the Terrace Cafe was, it was pretty much followed the menu of the main dining room.
Yeah.
So we talked to some people and they said, I just want to be waited on. I'm like, okay, go for it. But I just loved, and it beautiful. You could sit outside. There were many nights we sat outside and watched the sunset because it was hot in Europe when we went.
Yes. It's very hot in Europe in the winter.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Well, it was hot when we were there. It's not always hot, but
Really?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
No, it was just unseasonably hot.
Ah.
But food, it was great, and they also had, excuse me, they had the Wave Grill, which was open for breakfast in the morning for healthy options, a keto omelet, which was fabulous. And then it's starting at 11 o'clock, I believe. They had
burgers, really good burgers,
hot dogs. They would cook stuff like barbecue ribs. They would have salads. They would have a surf and turf sandwich, which my husband finally had on the last day. And he's like, oh, why did I wait so long? Just lobster and filet mignon on a sandwich. It was, the food.
Yeah.
Food was really good.
And don't forget the milkshakes.
Oh, yeah, they had in the morning up at the Waves Bar Grill, they had smoothies. You could go up and get a smoothie. It didn't cost anything extra. And then all the rest of the day, they had ice cream station, and they had milkshakes, and they had malts. I mean, you did not go hungry there.
No, you did not. I don't know what the difference between a malt and a milkshake is. I think it's
I don't know. It's just what they add into it.
I think it's egg content.
They had tea every afternoon up in the Horizons. And then they had a barista bar where you could get little sandwiches and breakfast in the morning, little things for breakfast. And throughout the day, they had always something to eat.
Yeah.
So the food was really, really good.
That's probably our number one like.
No, not mine.
Oh yeah, yours is.
So what about
That would be mine.
So let's talk about another really, really good thing we liked is the shower in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Maddie had an accessible room.
Yep.
The drain was amazing in that it went all the way around the shower, so there was no spillage. There were no accidents of
water everywhere,
flooding, and there was another drain, the entrance to the bathroom. So the shower was good. There's good and bad, but that was really good about the drain. Another soda, water, any type of water you wanted, tonic water, club soda, any type of soda, just it was in your refrigerator in your room, and your stateroom attendant would refill it. I didn't have Coke Zero, and I like Coke Zero, so I asked for it, and it suddenly appeared, and then it was there filled for the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
It is included. Again, you don't have to buy the beverage package, any beverage package to get soda, water. It's all included, as is the milkshakes and And then as far as the drink package, it was expensive. Oh, we got the drink package, my husband and I, where we could have unlimited wine, champagne, beer with lunch and dinner. And that was about $600, I think, each for 24 nights. So, but saying that, you could eat in the Waves Grill up until they closed at 4 and still get your wine and beer because it was considered lunch. So if you wanted you can drink all day long, whatever you want, that was much more expensive, and definitely not worth it for us.
Yeah.
Another thing is every night they had, in the bars, there were several bars. They had a 2-for-1 between 5 and 6, 2-for-1 drinks, which was helpful. That's how we met Herbert.
Yes.
Herbert, our little bar guy, who was very good. He was always bringing us chips and nuts, and very nice man.
Yeah.
So another was
the TV selection.
Yes, the movies and TV selection in the room was very good.
Yes.
They had first they had Mary Poppins, but then they changed it and
Hocus
they had Hocus
Pocus.
Pocus.
One of my favorite Halloween movies.
Yeah, they had lots of movies where sometimes you only have a few, and they had lots of TV shows.
And like Young Sheldon. Yeah, lots of good TV shows.
Yeah, it was the TV selection was great.
Yeah.
The room size was great. It's probably comparable.
Yeah.
Comparable to Celebrity. I talked about happy hour. The specialty restaurants are included. That was another good thing. You didn't have to pay anything extra. And they were really, really good. The Italian restaurant, the best lasagna I've ever had.
Toscana was
right?
very, very good. Yes. The lasagna was the best.
Yeah. And the
best.
Did I get carbonara?
Yes.
I think so. And that
we shared that. Remember?
Yeah, we shared it. Yeah. It was just excellent. Jacques was very good.
Yes.
And the desserts were fabulous.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. Red ginger, I loved, and
I didn't go to it. I don't know why. I was a little hesitant about.
No, it was really good. You would have loved it.
Nice.
Yeah, and the Polo Grill was fabulous. We had filet mignon.
I had mini burgers.
Okay, so another thing we liked was they had bingo.
Bingo was fun.
Bingo was fun, and we brought my husband the first time we played, and he won the first game. I'm like, seriously, I never win. But he won, got $170.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, so that was fun. It's the old, I think that Celebrity has started using that. Because didn't we play?
Yes.
Yeah, they've started using the little tap things where you pull it back, but we bring a highlighter. It's so much easier to keep track of. So we've done the likes. Now let's talk about the dislikes. There's probably more of those.
Yeah.
Okay. The major dislike is the accessibility of the getting on and off the ship.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yes. There were a couple times, the ramp, okay, there was always stairs and there was a ramp. And the stairs were on deck 5, ramp was on 4. But more times than not, I probably maybe only 3 times did the ramp actually meet the dock.
Yeah.
The other times there were 2 steps going down to the dock. How is someone in a wheelchair supposed to get off?
In a power wheelchair.
Well, yeah. And on the last day when we were disembarking in Trieste, there were stairs. There was the ramp, and then there were 2 stairs, and they had to carry Maddie down each time, or carry her up. And I said to the man, the nice security man, the security knew Maddie's. They'd say, Madeline, how are you today? You going out? They knew her by name.
Yep.
They all recognized her. And I said to him, how would you, they need to extend the ramp, get an extension or get a longer ramp.
Yeah.
I said, how would you get someone, well, he said, I don't mind. I said, no, it's not right for you. It's dangerous for the people in the wheelchair. And how would you get someone off that's in a power wheelchair? it's a lot heavier than a manual wheelchair. And he, just kind of brushed me off. But how would they do that?
That's a major question.
Yeah, that was my major flaw with this ship, is the ramp just did not extend onto the dock. And there were a couple of times,
Yeah.
a couple of times in the beginning when we would get off the ramp, and then one time they said, you shouldn't get off. And I went downstairs and I said, what do you mean we shouldn't get off?
Yeah.
And they said, well, the tide is going to go down and we're going to have to take that ramp off. So I went and talked to someone else.
Yeah.
And they said,
hello.
oh, no, we will get her back on.
Yeah.
And twice they ended up carrying her up the full flight of stairs, which there were a lot. It was...
Yeah. I don't know how many steps, but
it was 4 or 5 people that carried her.
It was ridiculous.
Now that, the tide is one thing, but because it was deck 4 was way down by the time we came back, but just not good. A lot of the places that we stopped, you had to take a shuttle bus to the outside or to the city or wherever, and they were not accessible. So we had to walk, or we had to take a taxi. There were some that were accessible, but it's just, it wasn't the best.
Yeah. No.
Another dislike, lack of activities.
This one drove me crazy because, like, I missed celebrities. I missed the trivia.
Well, they had trivia. You just didn't want to go.
Oh yeah, but they had.
They had movies, but they weren't movies that we wanted to see. It was just, they did have bingo though.
Yeah.
And we finally went, and we really liked it. But it was, just not at the best time of the day for us. That was it. There was no silent disco.
Yeah.
And then we get to the entertainment, which is another dislike.
Yeah.
Entertainment. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Tribute to Peggy Lee. Peggy Lee.
It's like, really? Who the heck is that?
Yeah, but the people that were on the ship were of that age for the older music set, and there were no shows.
Like you two are probably.
I didn't know who these people were.
No, but like you were like, you and Hank were like the young, like you guys were like really young. And I was
that relatively speaking, but there were some people our age, but and they were just entertainers, like singers. There was really no shows, productions, and they were always at 9:15 p.m., which I'm tired. I like to go on Celebrity. I go on the 7 o'clock to the 7 o'clock shows. If it's really good and I really want to see it, then I'll go to the 9. But 9:15
or 7 and 9.
Sometimes we go to 7 and 9 if it's really good. Excuse me, I've still got a issues from the smoke in people smoking in Europe. I brought home this. But so the entertainment. 1, it was late. 2, it was music
we couldn't really
relate to. Yeah. And 3, there was no accessible seating in the theater. It was on a slope, and you go in and you have to go up, and then there's this huge wall, and then on either side we could have put Maddie in front of a pillar so she couldn't see. There was just no section that I ever saw, and maybe we looked several times, but I never saw a section where wheelchairs could be put and they could see well. So we did not do much entertainment, and no entertainment at all.
Yeah, it was really, really, really sad.
Yeah. Another dislike was that we only one Wi-Fi per room,
One Wi-Fi per state, yeah,
per stateroom. Now, and a lot of people complained about that. So one person would have to log off and the other person could get on. Well, luckily for me, before we had left, I need to do this again. I asked our rep, I said, how many, I've read that there's only one internet
Yeah.
connection per stateroom, and it's, just basic. And he goes, no, now they've made it two connections. So I'm like, oh, good. Well, at least we have two. We've got 3 people in our room. We'll just buy the extra one. But we got to the ship, and only one person could sign on. So my husband went down to the customer service, and he said, we're supposed to have 2 internets. And the lady said, no, only one internet. And he said,
it was a real
this
pain.
This is what we've been told. She goes, well, do you have any proof? Well, he said, I don't know, because he had gone down alone. So he came back up, and he told me, and I said, yes, I have an email. So always keep correspondence saying, if the person says you have something, always have that handy. Because I said, okay, let's go down. I'll show her my email. And we went down, showed her the email, and she said, okay. And they talked to the internet person, and we got 2 in our room. We did get another one for Maddie, plus the premium, so she could do her YouTube meditation. So, case in point, you only get 1, and if your rep says you get 2, make sure it's in writing.
Yeah.
They had a few enrichment sessions, but they were not anywhere near the caliber of celebrity. You thinking we're going
Caliber,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The degree, the standard of
celebrity.
Did you learn a new word today? Give it to me. Caliber. Or for all the places that we went and all the history to all these places, no enrichment classes. They had maybe one, but it was after we'd already left Greece. It was on Greek mythology, but we'd already left Greece.
Yeah.
I don't know. Another dislike was the furniture, and that goes to a lot of things in the room. The room was a good size, but Marina is going to be going into dry dock and get a refurbishment, and it needs it bad.
It does.
The furniture on the deck was kind of ratty.
And mold on the curtain.
There was mold on the shower curtain in the bathroom.
Ew.
One part was hanging down. The curtain was ripped in the room leading to the balcony. Just stuff like that. You expect, when they talk about Oceania, you expect this high level, and you get there and it's down here. So, we were pretty disappointed, as were a lot of people that we had talked to. And I do believe, I did hear that Oceania was bought by Norwegian Cruise Line. I may be wrong, but that's what I've heard. And I don't know how long ago, but, maybe it's just changing around here. Another dislike, the deck was not big enough. We got Maddie out, but one person could never do it.
One person could never do it alone.
No. And 2 people, we barely did it. I mean, it was
so small.
And the door was really heavy, and it slammed back, and my husband got his finger cut in it one day. And he said, I almost shook my finger off.
Oh,
so
God.
It's just, it needs to be refurbished. But I don't know that they can make the deck any bigger. That was just a flaw. That the deck was no bigger than any other deck. And you get a wheelchair out there, and we had to stack up the furniture to get Maddie out on the deck. Another dislike, there was no app. No app for the cruise line. You had to do everything on your computer. Casinos. Well, one, they didn't pay very well.
Yeah, no.
But two, well, last night we did okay.
Yeah.
Two, there was a lot of broken machines.
Yes.
A lot. Probably, I mean, it was small because, again, you're talking a small ship.
Yeah.
1,200 passengers.
Yeah.
Probably, I'd say
10? 12?
at least 10 or 12, yeah.
10 were, yeah.
Yeah, one they fixed along the way, but other ones broke down. So yeah, that was kind of sad.
That was sad.
Another, just like the air conditioning in the room. I had them come and look twice because it was not
so it
cooling.
was so hot.
It was, yeah, and Europe's hot, I'm hot, and yeah, it never did really cool down. Mm-hmm. And someone else complained about that as well. Oh yeah, you can talk about this one, the towels in the room.
Well, I understand that they want to make it like environmentally and ocean friendly, but they're really, really, really rough.
Yeah, they were like, I'd say every day, and we're gonna get loofed because they were rough. And I think because
I understand it, but yeah.
Yeah, well, they also, the material and the pattern in the towels, it was kind of ribbed, and so it makes it even more. Yeah, it was a waker-upper because I didn't. Did you have any flaky skin? Because I didn't, because it was gone.
No.
Yeah, it was gone. Just like another thing, and this didn't bother us because Maddie doesn't like to go in the pool, but the pool, there was only one, and the pool did not have, or the spas did not have any lift into the pool or the spas.
Yeah, for somebody who likes the pool, that's
right.
That's a problem.
Right, no lift. Towels, we talked about them. Smoking areas. They had two on the ship.
Yeah.
Two big ones that I knew of. And one was, you had the Waves Grill on this end, and then it was the pool area, so it was all open. And then on the other end, and again, smaller ship, was the smoking area. And it was pretty big, but it was just open. So, and I'm trying to think. The Waves was in the back of the ship. Correct? Yeah, it was in the back of the ship. The smoking area was in the front of the ship. So when you're going along, or any wind, and that's going to take the smoke back, and you're trying to eat lunch or breakfast in the Waves, and you got that smoke coming at you. Again, my whole nasal system is a disaster from all the smoking in Europe. So that's a thing. And then they had a smoking area, and I never saw anyone up in it, but they had one up by, I don't know, up one of the upper levels, and it was actually inside, and there was no door to close it off. So again, I never saw anyone up there. I'm not sure how they expect to keep the smoke contained. Don't know.
Yeah.
Again, yeah. So the last dislike was that we missed 3 ports of call.
Yeah.
One was going to be a tender in France, so we weren't going to be able to see it. Another was...
We weren't as concerned
about that one. But then there was another one in France that we missed. And the big one... Oh, sorry. Yeah. Am I sleepy? Tangier. Yes, Tangier, Morocco. We were really looking forward to this.
She was very upset.
I was upset because it was an hour before we were supposed to be there, and Captain said, "Oh, the winds.
Oh, the winds are bad. Blah blah blah."
I don't think so, but anyway, that was a dislike.
Because I was supposed to ride a camel.
You were supposed to ride a camel, but now we've got some more time to get you ready for a camel. So with the likes and the dislikes, let's talk about the areas for improvement that would really, really, really make a difference. One is the refurbishment of the ship. Just the general, just all the things that I talked about, the curtains, the furniture,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the AC. And then another thing is the ramps. They need to be longer or have an extension like they have on the regular steps. They have an extension that is not
Yeah.
steps. It just goes. So
I just
they
think
need to
that's
do that.
ridiculous that they did it in the first place.
Yeah. So let's talk about our favorite things. And I forgot to tell you about this. This was my favorite thing about the ship. Anybody that knows me knows I love to do laundry. Always doing laundry. And we actually have a video of how to do laundry on a cruise ship. Well, on the Oceania Marina, it made it easy because they had laundry rooms. One laundry room, which they needed more. One laundry room on each floor that had staterooms.
Yep.
And it had 3 washers and 3 dryers. Free of charge. And they had the detergent there. It was perfect. They had a little place to sit if you needed to sit and watch your clothes spin. I didn't need that, but I would just set my alarm and go back and switch them around. So I liked it. And one of the dislikes, though, was several times during our trip, they would go out of order. And I think on our floor one time, at one point, they were
out of order, yeah.
Yeah, they were broken.
Yeah.
At one point, 2 of our washers were broken. You got 1 washer and 3 dryers, and a lot of people. I mean, it opened at 7:30 in the morning. 2 times I got up very early to go, thinking, okay, I'm going to follow the rules. 7:30, I get in there, and people are already in there and in line. So that was as far as a favorite thing, I was the laundry room. What was your favorite thing about Oceania Marina?
I would probably say the food.
The food?
Yes.
Okay, the food. Even though she's not a big fish eater, but it was still, we had turkey one night and I was just thrilled. They had...
that was great. Yeah, the food is definitely fine.
Yeah, they had, of course, I talk about seafood, but they had duck, they had lamb, they had, all this...
Chicken.
Yeah, but all of these things that I don't necessarily eat.
No.
I don't eat. But anybody who has a refined palate, you're all set. Okay, so what's the least favorite thing?
Definitely the accessibility.
Mine is the ramps.
Yeah.
Every day I would go down and I would look and I'd look out and I'd see the steps. And I said, seriously, to the security people, seriously, can you not get a ramp that extends? This is crazy. One time I helped them down and I knocked Maddie's head with my head and it's just...
Yeah, that hurt.
I know, yeah. It's ridiculous. Well, there was a lady on there who was in a scooter that we met, I think, the last night.
Yeah.
She'd only been off the ship twice in 24 nights.
Twice.
And she went on a... she can walk a little bit. She had a stroke on one side. Just a little bit, but she can't do stairs or anything. And, she didn't mind staying on there, but I'm like, if you're going to stay on a ship, go in the U.S., go to Europe to stay on the ship.
Yeah.
But she was happy, so bless her.
Yeah.
But she had gone on an excursion with the cruise line, and the guy, some guy lifted her onto the bus. She was tiny enough that you could do that. You're not tiny enough, and you're too...
Thank you.
Yeah, but she was really, really, really tiny. And you're a normal sized person and you're
You
rigid.
mean like no, like
She
no?
didn't have spasticity.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No. So anyway, the big question that everyone is waiting to hear, would we go on Oceania again? Let me just say that
Yeah.
well, let me just say that we would not have chosen to go on Oceania again, except that because we had missed the three ports of call, we were all three of us were giving $750 each in future cruise credits.
Yeah. No.
And so we said, why not give them another chance on a newer ship? We're going on, I think it's one of the newest ones. It's not the new one that's coming out, but it's the Vista. So we're going to give them another try and see, because it had a lot of good things going for it. The food is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a lot of stops, the lack of activities does not bother you.
Well, we didn't know. I mean, we don't want to diss people.
No, because that's another disclaimer I want to put out there is the crew was amazing.
Yes,
I mean,
crew really was.
They were amazing.
Helpful.
Oh, yeah.
They were fantastic. We were just saying our likes, dislikes, and needs of improvement.
Right. I mean, the crew could not have been nicer.
Yes.
Yeah, they all got to know us, and
we should put a disclaimer on
before we even. Yeah, I mean, it's always and I always say this about any cruise ship: the crew works so hard. And I would never say anything about any of them because they work hard. And I know they work hard. And it's just the whole perception of what our experience, and we never said anything bad about any crew member.
Not at all.
The guest service person at first about the internet was kind of huffy to Hank. But, you know, she straightened out. I went down there and I said, there you go. So, but yeah, the crew is always fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's just say that. So let's end with that. We are going, it's not till 2025. We're going to go on the Vista, and we're going to go to, I think we start in Oslo and end in Stockholm, just places we haven't been before. So we're going to give them another try. Hopefully when the newer ships, they've figured all this out. But, you know, small ship experience
versus Celebrity.
Also, well, we love Celebrity.
Yeah, we love Celebrity.
And there were a lot of people on the Oceania that were frequent Celebrity cruisers. So, you know, just trying a different one.
Yeah.
Oceania has some amazing itineraries, and that's what drew me to it.
That's what drew you, yeah.
And I'm glad we tried it, and we had a wonderful 24 nights. Amazing. We saw some fabulous things.
Yeah.
There's just some challenges that might not be there for people who don't need accessibility features or that love seafood, or, you know, it's just our experience. And we're letting you know that if you are in a wheelchair, these are things that you're going to have to deal with. So,
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
So, if you like what we're doing, subscribe, please.
Subscribe means a lot to us.
Mm-hmm. And we will be back soon with more adventures. I'm Kathy.
And I'm Maddie.
And we are Wheelchair Adventures.
Bye. Bye.